out.
I see. Oh. He's here.
I'm coming. I'm Neil.
Neil?
Yeah, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Filling in.
Are we supposed to consent to that before we vote on?
I might leave early. I'm going on 6 night shifts tonight in a row.
Might be short today anyway.
All right,
When's our meeting? Are we there?
we're online.
Okay. Welcome to Monday, April 7th, Emergency Preparedness Committee meeting. Catherine and Tom and myself are in attendance. Several people not in attendance. Past committee member Jill Ash is in attendance as well today. An announcement in that Lincoln County awarded us a matching grant. And I believe it's for the one for the Connex.
Nice.
I couldn't quite tell. They will provide us. I didn't see in the emails how much, but somebody said 2,500. Is that right?
They haven't sent us the.
They have, okay.
I think the
Okay.
court has to approve it first, but.
Then we'll find out how much actually. Good.
That's not bad.
You know, it's a replacement of the Connex up on radar and some supplies along with that. So that'd be good.
Half a dozen emails, so wasn't that hard?
Yeah, well, that one was okay. That one went good. So that will probably be a late summer. Well, assuming we have the other half in our budget this year, it'll probably be a late summer project.
Are you allowed to do GoFundMe's for committees?
I don't know.
I mean, if we put some kind of request out there that we got this much and then they'll match it. Anybody care to contribute?
Probably allowed to take donations. I mean,
Certainly could take donations for supplies.
no different than
I
that.
would think.
Yeah.
We've actually got some in our budget now, I think.
Saying that we could use that for other stuff, but. I mean, that
Other
would give it a
supplies.
good basis that we got this much. And we would like to match it. Anybody care to contribute?
Yeah, in theory, we have 11,000 we're putting in the capital budget for Connex replacement and supplies, so.
Oh, okay.
See if that gets past the
I knew I had
budget
some,
committee.
and I assumed they might reduce it a little. So I would still have enough to finish that project at least. Okay. Water purifier demonstration is tentatively set for the 23rd, I believe is what Dave said. Wednesday, the 23rd of this month. And no time yet. It will be, I'll send emails out because if weather does not look good, we will not do it because it's outside. And doesn't make sense
Where
to,
will that be done?
up at Radar.
Okay.
Connex near the water plant. They're gonna demo it right there, pull it out of the Connex and because that's basically where it would happen, I think. And then show us how to get water out of the tanks.
If it's bad weather, I'll be away at a conference, but I'd like to see it.
Okay. We'll see what weather does.
Yeah.
Who knows these days? And I believe there's another small water purifying machine in the Crestview as well. So we'll have to check that one of these days.
Are we all gonna park up there?
We all aren't. Yeah, we're gonna have to be carpooling and not parking at the tank. You're gonna have to park down near that smaller, really old tank. There's a couple of spaces and walk up. That's a great hill to walk up.
Good exercise.
Whoa, yeah. So, and I'm intending to have all of the, hopefully all the committee and Public Works Commission as well. And the 2 individuals that are going to be the first to open the Connex in an event, which live just up above it a little bit. They will be there as well. Sue and totally lost her name. Julie. They have volunteered, and they've also volunteered to reorganize in the Connex itself, get rid of boxes
Oh,
and clean it up kind of. And I thought opportunity is when we get the new Connex. Now, we might unbox a lot of things before because that would be fewer things to deal with that day. But we'll wait for the weather and see. We may have a few activities this summer then. Donna's joined us. Good. You have not met with fire chief yet.
I have no response. I have
Yeah.
emailed 3 times, I've called several times, it's just, they don't answer. Filled out that form online, it just, nobody responds to me. So I had sent you an email saying, maybe you just invited Frankie to a meeting and we could have that discussion, but it's like pulling teeth.
It is, I know it is.
Do we have a new fire chief up there now, or?
Do we have a new one?
I thought there was a new person.
I know they were looking. But I didn't, okay, well,
So I'm not sure how to proceed with that, other than knock on their door, but
Right.
the chances of me catching up with her aren't gonna be.
You're contacting Frankie
yeah,
mainly?
Well, that's who we were gonna have the meeting with.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to contact whomever, but nobody, I mean, they don't answer their phone. And I'm certainly not gonna call 911. They don't answer their email. They don't answer that form online that you say you're concerned,
yeah,
introducing myself, what I need, can you please get back to me? So I just,
the last time I got a meeting with her, I happened to run into her someplace else and cornered her to set up the meeting. Otherwise, I was going, running into the same thing. I will do that for sure then.
yeah, it's very,
Yes,
so I'm sorry that it didn't come through on that.
no, yeah, they're very poor in responding right now.
I'll go up and fish by where she keeps the goats and maybe run into her.
Okay, we don't have any finances. Got a newsletter article that's out and another one coming. We talked about the Connex contents last time, and I have updated those lists. And I thought when we go into the Connex later in the summer, we'll just take the list with us and check off and verify for sure the number and quantities. And does it look like we should have some of the other stuff or not that we talked about?
Yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah, I think those could be good exercises.
Yeah, I got sidelined since the last meeting, the family medical crisis, which is now resolved, but I'm gonna put, again, more attention to maybe the medical and medication needs that we could consider for it.
Great,
We'll have it figured out by summer.
good, good. Let's see, Tom found an individual that will support us with drone activity when
Yeah.
there's an event.
Yeah, I sent in the email, I put his business card,
Yeah.
Dave Wilson. We call him Dome Dave. His house is a dome up up by King Street. Yeah, he's, very experienced, really enthusiastic about being a resource if needed. He says he's already got an agreement with, I think, Seal Rock, community or fire department, the
Mhm.
people up there. He told me he's gonna send a detailed list of what he has to offer, still waiting on that.
Oh, that'd be good.
He's got a waiver from the FAA, what's called a catastrophe waiver, where he can
fly.
he could do more than the average drone person,
Good.
if needed. So, yeah, it was a nice meeting and, he's enthusiastic about being available. He's always in town and he's always around. And he lives
Good.
well above the tsunami line, so.
And Kathy then, after seeing that, reported on another individual, Carl Melbergern. I didn't get his name, also local and has drones and would be willing to assist. So we might
Nice.
get everybody together regarding that, maybe invite them to a meeting and we can
Yeah.
just focus on how they would be used, what we would be doing with them and
Yeah.
what service they can offer, because it may help also when we're dealing with the shelter. If there is a fire up the river or something happening somewhere, they could be reporting a little bit on that as well.
You could go on that volunteer list.
That's a good point.
Definitely put him on there, yeah.
That's a good point. We have only one individual that ever signed up, so we need to focus on that. Well, your article will help a little bit there
Yeah, it's
again.
nice.
Then.
But the only thing I worry about with that, and I did put the link in there to the volunteer forum. It seems
Okay.
kind of cumbersome, the volunteer
Link or the form?
forum, so, you know,
A little too much.
yeah.
Okay,
It's made
change it.
with the intention for somebody that wants to be on a commission.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little too much.
100% correct. What are you interested in doing when we're trying to ask in this next newsletter, and what we agreed on is what would you be able to provide? So, you know, like these gentlemen or these people would be able to provide drone services. Maybe somebody has, you know, a hound dog that does things and, you know,
Mhm.
this, or you can take a shower at my house, or I have, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, make a nice streamlined form.
Yeah,
Yeah. For our purpose, maybe there's no reason that we can't have a separate form.
Could make another form.
Put it under the Emergency Preparedness Committee.
change link in the newsletter.
There you go.
Okay, so we need to create a form.
Let's go search the internet,
Okay,
do that.
Maybe we could take our existing form and just remove some things from it and
Yeah, just
could certainly
clean it
start
up.
there. Yeah.
I'll
add.
find one that might be suited for us, you know, and then I can set up a little meeting, but
Yeah, just
yeah, people are interested in volunteering, but they don't necessarily want to sign up for
That's
it.
right.
I want to be on the planning commission, I want to be on.
yeah,
But they want to be known as a resource if needed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm more than happy to help out in the event of an emergency.
Even those that helped out at the preparedness fair. I mean, it's a one-time deal.
Yeah. No big obligation.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
think
that it's okay to call me or text me.
yes,
And
exactly.
the answer is always no. unless you-
Yeah. That's fine. Um, so in the spring, summer, we've got the water purification demo. We'll have the Connex reorganization.
We need the, first.
We have medication
Oh, yeah,
review.
the medication, but the kits with.
Yeah,
supplies.
that could probably be anytime
Anytime with a few people, you know that.
because you can stay inside pretty much.
Yeah, be inside there
well.
and figure it out.
Yeah, somebody can sit up on the Nomad. It takes the aisle space, but you can sit there and the first aid stuff's near the front, if I remember right, the box anyway, the big boxes.
Yeah, look forward to seeing it.
You may not. But we could set up 2 different dates and really go through each one and you may find some things to dispose of as well because of time.
Yeah, expiration.
It's all been there for quite a while, so. And we can figure out what maybe other kinds of containers we should have to organize it in. so people can get to rather than a big cardboard box with everything dumped in.
Yeah. Time may be of the essence.
Yeah. Okay, actually, since we're talking about that, I'll set a time.
We should go up there and look, yeah.
Um,
I mean, let's get it on the calendar at least. 'Cause
sure,
these weeks are just flying by.
yeah. You want to try this month, yeah?
Good. Do you have a good list of first aid supplies that you would recommend, or should I? That would say, this is a complete list that you need in
Yeah.
this box.
Yeah, I could come up with that. Yeah, I was hoping to do it before this meeting, but like I said, I got sidetracked. I could have that done, before too long.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then we could take that list and do a comparison with what we have and with what we need.
And then just kind of talk through needs.
And
Sure,
do we have any of those like Tupperware boxes that are, like big bins, but they're only about this big, that we put medical supplies in, that it's not too,
we have a number of them that need to be moved into each of the Connex from the fire station Connex. They're with lids,
okay,
yeah, they're
So
good
let's
heavy
use
duty
those.
boxes.
or medical supplies, some of them. I mean,
Yeah, they're,
so
to
if
be
he has the
used,
list
so.
and you throw those in your car before we meet,
I
then we
can
can
do
do
that.
everything right then. All the ingredients.
And at the same time, we can mount the key box. So any of you can access it then at other times, because it'll just be like a realtor's code and you get the key to open the padlock. So
I can watch.
oh, yeah, the lockbox.
yeah,
Yeah, they're easy.
So what day do you?
I'll bring a crowbar too to open the door.
You're the one that probably has the schedule.
Let's see,
Towards the end of the month,
uh,
which is.
yeah, I'll be, said I'll be I'm working or out of town most of this week, and the last week of the month, I'll be out of town. Towards the end of next week or early May, something like that. What looks good?
Week of May. Like maybe 6th, 7th, or 8th.
Yeah. First week of May would be
Okay.
fine.
Why don't we set it for the 7th now?
Okay.
Radar Connex. And time, do morning,
Anytime's good.
7 AM.
about 10.
10's awesome.
Then we can decide if we move on to the other one or we need to set another time to do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
Say radar first,
pardon?
the radar one first.
Yes. So besides the three of us, Mary? Okay. Let her know. Okay. Be a little tight, but that might be a good time to get some of the stuff drug out of there too. Okay. Supplies. Supplies will probably be in May also. Then we'll do replacement, probably not until August. August, September. August is the busy month here. Most crowds.
Mhm.
Lowest water.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. People getting out of the heat dome.
Okay. I'll talk to Rick and Dave. They're gonna have to do a little prep. And that's gonna be over a couple of days, I'm sure. Would have to involve the Public Works staff. We may have to assist in getting everything out of the Connex. We'll probably put it behind the gates at the water tank. We put it out, put it on tarps, cover it with tarps. And then they'll take have them take the shelving out because they attached it all originally. And then have the guy come remove that tank or that Connex. And while he is taking that away, our Public Works can regrade the gravel for underneath. And then he'll bring the new one back up. I suspect that's 2 or 3 days time frame. Before then we restock again. I'll have Dave set up a time and then I'll get that ordered based on our budget after July. I don't have any concern about us not getting our budget. We will. August, September radar. We've had virtually no luck in setting up the shelter here and getting Red Cross to communicate with us.
You said, Joanne didn't get back to you?
Never. I don't know what the deal is. And Steve hasn't communicated back since city manager and I both contacted him.
Maybe a lot of people are in crisis after federal grant destruction.
Yeah, it could very well be.
They're just
I mean, maybe they don't have jobs.
This is,
scrambling,
well,
scrambling
yeah.
to figure out what to do.
it's been months
Yeah.
that we've been working at this and there's just no communication. I don't know why we can't just go ahead. Utilize the FEMA shelter guide and take it little by little in terms of setting it up. And
It's gonna be a warming shelter, yeah,
basically well,
but we're not gonna call it an emergency.
we are emergency only, not a warming,
Oh, right.
not a warming, right?
Backwards.
City manager would prefer it not be just due to cold, but an actual event that displaces people.
There may not be any FEMA.
Yeah.
It's like it.
So I don't know, and to be Red Cross or FEMA approved, I don't know if that will make any difference. It might if we could get a grant. But we can certainly follow their guidelines and set up and how to manage it, what to have. It's pretty easy to follow. I can send out the field guide to everybody. And maybe we just start, take part of it each month and start working at setting it up. We need to write a protocol for the city manager for the whole thing at some point. But if we go through it and make some decisions, I don't think it would be very difficult. I mean, I started that once. They have in the back of the FEMA guide, there's about 40 pages of checklists. So, I mean,
Do they have a protocol?
They do.
Just, yeah.
kind of. We can certainly pull a lot of things out of there
Mhm.
to create whatever we need. They have a diagram of staffing that certainly we don't need to follow because it's got way too many people. Like Steve said, for something here, we would only need 4 people. And they start with 9. I don't think we need that many managers, to be quite honest. We just need a couple of people. I mean, there's gonna be people at City Hall anyway, making calls and doing that kind of stuff. All we need to do is take care of people, with cots and beds and some food. I think we ought to be able to put it together ourselves instead, and then if we ever can get a hold of Red Cross, we can see what else we need to do. Protocol is probably the most difficult, deciding. We talked about food before, and about approaching restaurants to supply food rather than trying to cook. I think that's still appropriate because you can control how much, and there's not waste, and we're not taking too many volunteers to be in the kitchen either.
What if the services aren't available, electricity, everything, and restaurants aren't able to do that?
If we have an event that's like that, I suspect we're not offering the shelter. Although maybe we are. We've got the generator, or we'll have a generator, so we'll have power here. But that's a good point.
Our stove and oven, and there's propane, so we'd have that. We had like the freeze-dried mountain home meals, we could just boil some water and,
Water and propane, you're good.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think their concern with us making the meals wouldn't be as big a deal if it was something freeze-dried and they're just adding hot water to it.
right, as opposed to really cooking
Right.
and preparing.
Opening a can, heating up some soup.
Yeah. Yeah, and technically you've got to have food handler's license too. So we would need somebody with that. Usually it's not a big deal to get.
There's no catastrophe waiver for that,
Probably so.
like the drone operator.
I would see, like, if it's in the midst of an emergency.
Yeah, so you
go
stop
over and
feeding
check all
people?
that stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, you
Sorry.
didn't check all the boxes.
So when we were talking about food, we were going to start approaching restaurants just to see if they would be interested in being on a list.
Well, which I thought was part of this volunteer thing. that I
Exactly.
Put together. Have you
Yeah.
read that article?
I haven't read the last newsletter at all yet.
Well, no, it's coming out next.
Oh, the next one. Oh, I skimmed through it. I haven't
Okay,
read it fully.
but I was hoping that would be the intent, that,
Then we could follow up.
I've got the pizza oven at Drift Inn, maybe I could fire that up and do half a dozen pizzas or something like that, but
Yeah, they don't have to be
on site, just
real
something that,
prepared meals either. I mean,
yeah.
it's just some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, or out of gas now, since it's under new
Mhm.
management. For the food trucks,
It's part of the volunteer, this is.
Yeah.
It's hand in hand, the fact that, you're the doctor, I'm a nurse, I can volunteer some kind of medical knowledge volunteers, or, maybe somebody has a big garden, people. I can
Sure.
take some food over to these people, check on my neighbors or whatever, just so that it's community driven, that everybody is hopefully participating if they can in that kind of an event.
we just have to go approach them. Yeah, one at a time. I think we need to get a little farther before we really approach them. So that we know that we're really doing this too.
Yeah, not that, okay, we're gonna do this and then it never comes.
Yeah, and C and K as well. Like if power goes out, C and K is gonna have to get rid of food.
Yeah, they don't have a generator, they throw out
No,
tons of food every time the power goes out.
It's not a good plan.
yeah. Hmm. And we talked about or I believe city manager talked about being able to reimburse them somewhat too for food, not, and at least give them something back. It depends.
Sell it at cost instead of marking it up.
Yeah, yeah.
So Neil, when Lorraine and her peeps do those dinners at the Presbyterian Church every month, the free dinners, do they all have the food handling? Is there a list of things that they have to be able to do that there?
I don't know, I've never been to it actually, so
Oh, I just didn't know if you ever talked to Lorraine about it. I mean,
I would assume they'd have to have a food handling card.
give us some information, you know, those free dinners they have every month.
If it's free instead of selling it though, I wonder if it's different, like.
Well, we're not gonna sell it here.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be different, but think about the Lions Club too, and during,
The breakfast.
Yeah. I suspect not every Lions Club member has a food handler's license either.
Yeah, because they do a breakfast every.
Frequently, yeah. Major holidays,
Yeah, just to remove some.
maybe
obstacles.
not. That would, yeah,
Let me talk to Lorraine about that.
and if we've got an event has occurred and we're opening something, the church is gonna be open too and doing something as well, so. Maybe partnering with somebody like the Lions Club and Ladies Club for those. There you go.
I could live on five for.
Pie.
All things but.
We didn't have a whole lot for agenda today, so. We've got a number of things to be doing soon, so.
Yeah, I think the early May date there, that'll be productive.
Yeah, I think so too.
Go ahead and roll, then I need to nap.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. It may fit some.
You should ask if anybody on the video call has anything they want to add.
Jill? Yeah. There she goes. Do you have anything that might help in our discussion so far? Can't hear you. Must still be muted.
I'm muted, but I still can't hear anything.
Maybe she's. We had this problem last time.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
No.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Okay, I just want to remind you, James is usually involved in conic stuff, and he's gonna be back on Easter.
Who is that?
James Saunders,
Oh, yes.
yeah, he's been in Texas and Mexico
Okay.
doing
That'd be
some
good to get James back, and we want to
Christian stuff.
upgrade our radios anyway, and he and Dana, we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a ham radio operator.
Right.
One thing about all these food prep areas and Lions Club and Women's Club, and where you're sitting right now, you got to keep in mind, in the Venice tsunami, you're all gonna be underwater, all of that,
Yeah, we were thinking more in terms of other kinds of things.
like fires and stuff.
Fires and landslides up the river or east
Yeah,
or north and south of us, where
right,
only a limited number of people really have been evacuated or displaced from homes for a period of time,
right,
just so
right,
they have some place to go.
right. Of course, in the Venice tsunami, I encourage, if all of you, I know, Lynn, you are with me, all of you that are not already doing Map Your Neighborhood, I'm a little late. I've done 3 so far, and I had 2 back surgeries and shoulder surgery, so I'm a little behind this year. But it's really a good idea to get your stuff together, map your neighborhood. If anybody wants a water barrel, my husband's a contractor and willing, you get it, my husband will install it for you. Don't waste the rain. The water's coming
Water
down.
barrel?
Don't waste it. We've got 2 piggybacked.
I think it might be time for that article again about mapping your neighborhood and reminding
Yeah.
people. We can
Yeah.
do that. I can do that one, sure.
They're not technically calling it that anymore.
No, they
Remember that
changed
at the Preparedness Fair, they said we can't call it that anymore.
Okay,
That's something that.
we need to find that correct terminology now.
Well, one thing too, you were talking about food licenses. Oh, we had a big concert and we had a free tamale dinner. A couple hundred people showed up. I'm pretty sure we don't have a license. I'm thinking there might be something you could talk to Bob, but places like the churches, I think they have like a nonprofit waiver thing that you can give away cooked food without, without fear of somebody coming around telling you have to have a license for it.
Would that be true too, like the Lions Club, Joe? Are they nonprofit?
What's that?
Lions Club, would they be nonprofit?
Yeah, I just don't know that you need one if you're like the Presbyterian Church or our church or any
Yeah.
church. There's a couple in Walport that give away
But we
food.
can get around it.
Case
They don't have time. We don't have an FDA anymore. Remember, they all got sent home. So I shudder to think how many people are going to have food poisoning. We already have kids. I think 3 now have died of measles. So there's just no
We don't
telling.
have a CDC either.
Yeah.
We're kind of on our own, aren't we?
Which is why I think it's important that everybody will say, yeah, I would be more than willing.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
This is what I can do, right?
Mhm.
And I can chop firewood with somebody. I can take the dogs for a walk, whatever.
It's kind of like a map your neighborhood on the city scale,
Right.
what we're looking for
But
in
also
the
in the
volunteers
neighborhood, like
list.
Jill said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that new terminology.
I have my file folder, but I still think of it as map your neighborhood. I mean, I know that's not.
Yeah, it was something similar.
Maybe that's.
I
Oh,
keep
okay.
extra dog kennels. I have 2 dog kennels and a cat kennel and a fenced yard that if in an emergency, I could house a couple of dogs.
I'm putting you on the list.
I'm not sure how happy my dogs would be about that, but
They can stay inside, the others can be out. Remember when we talked about last time too, Kathy was gonna set up like a beanie drive so that we'd have enough hats in the connexes if people
Right,
needed hats.
that's right.
And so Lorraine, when I was talking, not Lorraine, Diane, when I had a long conversation with her about the newsletters a couple weeks ago, she said that she could do those kind of posters. So she would do a poster for that. So if we wanted to kick that off, Kathy, Diane would do that poster for her
Okay.
and just, they could donate them. I mean, they could bring them to the Chamber of Commerce and bring it to the guitar shop or somewhere where she decides, right?
That's right. That's right. And she was gonna have people just donate.
Right. Mhm.
New.
She was gonna take them home and make sure they were all laundered
Okay,
and clean.
so either new or used is okay.
Right, and then she was gonna bag them in like Ziploc, and then we have them in the connexes, so we should follow up.
What about socks and gloves? You lose more heat through your feet as well, and your hands. They're important to keep the hands and feet warm.
Well, she's certainly add that to the poster.
Sure could.
On something online about the food handlers card. I
Okay.
have a benevolent meal site. So like, might be a way to get around.
Sure.
saying We're a benevolent organization and providing meals to needy or indigent.
Gosh, that sounds Apple to me.
Also says that you're not operating from a permanent kitchen facility, so.
Yeah,
It's called neighborhood resource mapping. It's the same thing, just a different term.
neighborhood resource.
It emphasizes the collaborative and inclusive nature of the process where residents work together to map their area to build stronger communities.
Right. Yeah, and we know there's a bunch of neighborhoods out there, but we just don't know where and the extent of them. So all we can do
Maybe
is
we
kind of
have contests. The emergency committee has contests.
contest.
Who gets their neighborhood mapped first, maybe gets to have free pizza at the place up north. But, you know, because then there's the Coho, and then there's the Quietwater neighborhood, and then there's this neighborhood.
There's a lot of
There's
neighborhoods.
a lot of neighborhoods, and then we could have all of that mapping saved in a file where we would know somewhere. But we have some kind of little contest,
Contest.
because people are always competitors,
So how, I mean,
but it can't include golf, because everybody hates golf now. I'm sorry, what did you start to say?
so how do we, I mean, we know some are already established. So we don't want them to be that easily completed. We need something a little, how do they prove what, I mean, I know there was a form that Jill had that identified who'd had what. Do we need them to submit
Yeah, I
documentation
think we
maybe?
should. That's
And
the thing.
skills. What
And
can you bring to
skills,
the
yeah.
table? Like my husband can inspect a building to determine if it's safe enough for you to go back in. That kind of thing.
But, you know, if they did have it documented, like if Jill had something or whatever, you know.
But she does.
A form. And that, you know, inclusive of addresses, phone numbers, whatever, and we had that, it would be beneficial. If somebody needed to access that file, you know, maybe you have to do a count. This person's not accounted for right now, that person's not accounted for, I mean. And yeah, that you give a certain amount of time to
Mhm.
have it, and then you win a prize. I don't
Yeah,
know.
everybody's got the signs. We're about 25 people in our maps group. We go all the way up Windsong and then across King Street to Lynn's house and down the other way. And everybody's got the okay and help signs.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You suppose once they start providing that to us, there's going to be a privacy issue with contact information? Phone and
Phone
email?
number and address, that's
I wouldn't
everything,
think-
that's on all your property.
To me, it's, yeah, that's
not
public
privacy. You're not
information.
giving us social security
Okay.
numbers or bank accounts
Yeah. We wish.
or birth dates, I mean, none of that.
No, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Maybe not, you know, and if it's not a contest, but I think it's good to kick it off again to get people thinking about it, because I
Well,
think
definitely.
the times have changed so drastically just in the last year with everything that's happening, that I think people do need some support. Know that they have support out there if that's what they want. And there are gonna be people that say, don't step foot on my property, I don't care, I don't want you to have,
Yeah.
or know anything about me, and
We
Yeah.
got one like that, but we know he's got a 30-aught, so that's gonna be in candy when the bears come down. And he's an ex-cop, but he's very, very private. But one thing to know too is make sure if you have friends that live, especially below 101 and also below King Street, you want to make sure they have a ride or a way to get up the hill. Not everybody can run fast enough to get up a hill in 15 minutes. So it'd be good that everybody knows somebody that can get them up here. And keep in mind, we might not have phone service, so I don't know how they're going to get a hold of us. But maybe if you already know someone to check on them, like somebody's down there, and you want to make sure they made it up. So now's the time for them to make friends with somebody who lives on the hill.
Right.
Like
Don?
James and Elaine, they have my guest bedroom. I got it.
Don? Are you there?
Yeah, I
Does
don't
your-
have any.
Does your area, have they ever done the map your neighborhood?
We've done part of it.
Do you know that if they're in that area, are there others that have approached it at all? I mean, it seems to not be anything that people talk about.
that's Tracy Cruz, she's my next door neighbor. I bet she's
Okay.
done something.
Sure. Yeah, I'll bet she'd participate in that too. Huh. Yeah, I'm not, south of the bridge, I'm not sure who does or doesn't, other than I suppose Quietwater is an entity on them in themselves because they have an association anyway. Although I don't know
Well,
that,
Cola does too.
do they have, does that association then provide for emergency preparedness as well?
I've asked that question ever since I've been involved.
don't
in
know,
that, so we
do we?
don't know, and we all both have those, I mean, not that it'd be any good during the tsunami, as Jill says, but
Yeah,
they both have those clubhouses that, in the event of any other kind of disaster, they certainly should be able to house a few people within there, at least. But I don't know what they have and what they don't have.
Well, a couple of them will go to our church, so I can ask them when I see them.
that'd be
Okay,
great.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
They're more toward the top. The lower part might not be okay with the river.
Yeah.
But the people I'm thinking are right on River Road and where Quiet Water comes into River Road. And they're probably high enough. But they've been there a long time and they should know if there's anything like that.
Well, I'm right across the street from them and I'm not aware of any, but I'm not part of the association. We just look over
Yeah.
them.
I wonder, maybe we could get a group to take on the neighborhood resource mapping, like the Baptist Church. They've been wanting to be involved.
Gotta watch if they do it without any other agenda.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. But I know they approached me at the Christmas tree lighting.
Oh,
Uh,
was that
and-
Pastor Abel?
No, it was actually, James for one.
Who?
James.
Oh, James, sure.
He was
He's
one,
an elder, yeah.
and another younger gentleman. They both approached, said they'd really like to get involved in the emergency preparedness and participate in some manner.
Well, that would be
Okay.
great. We could do
So-
that. But I think we have to be really careful, like you say, about what
Absolutely.
questions we ask.
Yeah,
You should never ask anybody about their affiliation with any kind of politics or
that's
religion
right.
or.
well, if we could kind of give them a kit to
I'd like to-
start with, sure.
Jill has one.
No, we're not allowed to talk politics at church. It frustrates me, but it's, you're not allowed to say anything about politics. I already vented to Lynn this week, so he's heard enough politics.
That'll teach me to work out in the yard, won't it?
There might be a couple. I'm going to CERT on Wednesday, and it seems to me there's a couple of CERT members, that go at the fire department in Walport that live in Yachats. And I'm pretty sure one of them has something going on in her neighborhood.
That would be helpful if you find out who has what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
And that, speaking of CERT, I didn't see that CERT announcement in the newsletter this time. It didn't make it
Oh,
about the class.
but the classes, yeah.
That's in the newest flyer from the college.
OCCC.
How to sign up
yeah.
to be a
And
CERT.
it was in, I saw it, and then, so I thought we should put it in the newsletter for the Yachats newsletter, but I don't think
I didn't see
it
it.
made it to the newsletter. And then my other question was gonna be about those classes you sent out. Has anybody signed up for those classes that are happening?
Not that I'm aware of. I
Okay.
mean, they may have done it on their own and. I mean, the drawback I saw there was, other than the one that I'm taking, that, I mean, you can sit in your home and take it, is that you're going to Salem or you're going to Medford or you're Klamath Falls. That's,
It's a long way.
yeah, it is. And that's too bad. I was not seeing anything. Well, there was a Lincoln City one, wasn't there?
I can't remember. I can look at your email.
I think that's as close as there was. Maybe not. But yeah. I may still have all of the stuff that Jill sent.
Well, they have on the latest Catch the Wave, they have a picture of part of our CERT team right on the cover. So I have a feeling there's got to be something more local.
Yeah, I thought the college was doing a great
It's
job.
very involved. It's not
Focusing.
go to a class for a day. I went for 8 weeks.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here, CERT, South County CERT program. Linda Engel, who's been with the Walport group for years. Well, look, it is kind of Friday, April 4th, Saturday, April 5th, Sunday, April 6th, Saturday, April 12th, final exercise disaster. So you're a little late right now. Now, North County, you can train in Lincoln City from April 10th to May 29th. So you're not too late for that one. But that's local. The one, the
Yeah.
South County was Walport and the North County is Lincoln City.
Right.
But like I said, it started like yesterday.
Yeah, it's already started, but I was hoping it would make it in the newsletter, but. it
Yeah.
didn't.
didn't, no.
So
and
you
it'll
could
be
do the
too
North
late then.
County if you wanted to do the final test locally. That would probably be all right. They work together. If you want to know what it's about, there's a meeting Wednesday night at 6:00 at the Walport Fire Station. You can get a feel for what goes on. Every second Wednesday, I believe. Well, maybe it's not this week. It's either this week or next week.
And just going back, as if I'm sending this on to Joanne about first aid stuff because or Red Cross, because I don't think you had her email right when I look at it.
Ah. Okay,
I'm sending it to her.
okay,
Okay.
see what happens, yeah.
Mhm.
Because on one of them, I know I just responded to the one that had been sent to Bobby. And I just responded to that. Trying to get,
But when you reached out to,
when I did it separately, it
Yeah.
might have been different,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then there was one more thing we were gonna follow up on. It was in my brain 2 minutes ago and now it's. emails again. Oh, I wanted to ask you about the person who was donating a parcel of land where we could put something or have a community meeting place. Remember the person that said that they had a piece of land where people could meet?
Huh, I do, but
I wonder if we
where
did
is
anything with
that?
that.
Where is that? Ooh, I gotta find that email.
It came from an Aha Lodge,
Oh, that's right up above me.
okay? And they had land where people could gather and assemble as a group.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if we did any follow-up on that.
Should be somebody else, not me.
Okay. Who should it be?
Could be anybody, and I can tell you after the meeting why.
Okay,
Um, their land can be a gathering place. There's a fair area. They have a large driveway up above, that's paved. Then it slopes down. There's some grass area that's decent size. I mean, you could certainly put up a few tents. I mean, the house is big. And I don't know how much they're offering other than assembly area, which I think that's what her intent probably is.
which would be good.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
And actually, you go up a driveway past my house, is Aha, and then directly over that driveway is another house that has a fair amount of land in front too that is not used other than to grow grass and mow. Which would be,
The name of the road?
Aha it's Aha Lodge. It's a vacation rental
Oh,
for large groups.
oh,
As it sleeps 18.
whoa.
Yeah.
Don't want to be doing that longer.
Yeah, I don't know how they do theirs, all that stuff. Sure.
Ask you.
Well, for not having a real agenda today. We did okay. Are you back on the committee, Jill?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I'm just looking in this catch the wave thing. They do have first aid, CPR, AED course and certification. That starts Tuesdays and Thursdays, April 8th to April 17th in Lincoln City, and you'll be certified to be a first aid person. Part of the cert includes CPR.
I'd like to ask you to do more stuff, Bill, but I'm wondering if you couldn't take that information like that and send it out to everybody that's on this committee, just to ping them.
Sure. Yeah, I can.
I mean, I think if we start sending out different information to the committee, then it'll make people realize, oh yeah, I'm on this committee. Yeah, we're having a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, kind of stuff. So what do you think? This is available if you're interested.
Is she talking to me? Who's she talking to?
I'm asking you.
Oh, me? Oh my God. Well, first of all, I got one hand right now,
Oh,
and that's the right hand. And I could hardly sign on to this. I am not good at anything regarding computers or secretarial anyway. I'm a Luddite, if you know what that is. I'm a Luddite, and yeah. But you know, I'll attend stuff and participate in stuff, and I can teach some stuff. I was a nurse for 35 years.
Okay, good. Well, welcome back. I'll make sure you're on the list.
Hopefully I'm
else?
not having any more surgery for a while.
Yeah. Either one of you, you or Howard.
Oh yeah, Howard had a total knee, that's right. He's out working.
Good. Okay, well, we got halfway through the meeting, so let's call it good. And we'll work on a few things for next month, and May, we're gonna have some activity then outside of the meeting, so good.
So the
Um,
meeting's on Cinco de Mayo, the 5th. That'd be the first Monday.
Is it really?
Yeah, I don't know how many of you are into Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? That's okay.
It's an American.
Oh, yes.
Maybe we
For
can
sure.
get a picture of margaritas.
Oh, there you go. New policy for the city. That would get attendance, wouldn't it? An attendance, wouldn't it?
I mean, that's.
Yeah, it definitely is.
While you're recording.
Well, with that, meeting is adjourned.